Hey, Fierce Chicks, it's Kelly. I just wanted to take a minute to reach out to you and touch base about something that kind of rings true for me this time of year and probably for you too. Um, I will admit that the Christmas season is not really my favorite. I love it because my kids enjoy it so much, and I just kind of love to see the sparkle in their eye. I'm really more of a Halloween girl. That's more fun. Christmas feels sometimes like pressure and all the commercialism I just can't get into. I feel like the reason for the season gets kind of lost, and I see people get really stressed out. My clients get kind of stressed out. So it's not really my favorite, but this year I was sitting back and thinking about how people could just do better than just survive the season. What if you could do a few things to actually feel like you were thriving during the season? And so I wanted to share a couple of tips with you that I am practicing this year, especially to really thrive during this season. Okay, so number one, you've heard this one a million times, but I'm adding an adjective to it that I really want you to pay attention to, and that is practice extreme self-care. I don't mean just getting to bed on time and trying to eat well and all of those things that we should really be doing anyway. I mean extreme self-care. What are the kinds of things that you can do that really serve your mind, body, and spirit well? For me, because I've had all kinds of back problems, and I shared with you I had spine surgery this summer, for me it's deep tissue massage. And so I have a 90-minute massage every month that just kind of helps keep my back and my pain in check. This month I'm having 2. And so if that's not your thing, or that's just not something you can swing financially during the season, that's fine. Why not go out and splurge on your absolute favorite bubble bath and make sure at least once a week with a nice glass of wine or tea, you're taking a really long, really hot, wonderfully smelling bath and throw in some Epsom salts so you can detox a little bit and really make it a special time. Turn the lights down, put nice music on, and really pamper yourself. So extreme self-care is number one. Number 2 is using the N-word, my favorite. And if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know which word I'm talking about. No, it's one of my favorite words, and it's one of the words that I see women, smart, successful, sassy women just like you, struggle with using. So for me during this season, no means, because I really am an introvert, no means not going to every party that we're invited to, every event, every parade, every tree lighting, everything. We pick and choose what we go to. We pick and choose who we spend our time with. We pick and choose how we entertain and host people in our home. And, we really just make it about what works for our family, and that requires us to say no to some things. What I want you to remember is every time you say no to something, you're saying yes to something else, and vice versa. So if you say yes to everything, you're most likely saying no to self-care, to making yourself and family a priority and whatnot. So I want you to really think about how you use the word no this season and feel strong about it, feel empowered about it. There's nothing wrong with saying no. The next thing is really kind of in line with saying no, and that's setting really strong and firm and clear limits and boundaries with people. I hear people get triggered by their families a lot during the holidays, and it's because we're all kind of extra sentimental and sensitive. But the truth is, not everybody's family is a Norman Rockwell picture, and that whole idea is just a bunch of nonsense anyway. So what I want you to do is be really, really clear with yourself and with other people about what's okay with you and what's not. And what are you doing for other people as opposed to doing for you? And I don't mean that in a selfish way. I mean it in a self-care way. Because remember, every time you let somebody cross one of your boundaries, or you don't honor one of your boundaries, you are kind of taking away from your own energy and your own wellness. So I want you to be really, really aware of that this season, and honor your limits and boundaries. And that includes financial limits and boundaries, everybody. You don't have to give your kids everything. Remember, what they want most of is you. And last but definitely not least is, how are you managing your personal energy? And this is something I'll dive into much deeper in 2016. But what I want you to understand is that everything is energy, including you. And how you manage that energy is going to affect your experience of everything. So you need to be aware of when you've given too much, when you haven't taken enough in for yourself, when you have not honored yourself well, mostly because you probably put other people before you over and over and over again. So I just want you to be a little bit more aware of that during the season and try to manage it well. Just that, even if you can just start to try to tune into what makes your energy surge and makes you feel like you're full of energy, and what really drains you, even if you feel like it's something that shouldn't. We got to get rid of that word, people. Should. It's a curse word. Be aware of what's draining and what's filling. And if you can do these 5 things over the next handful of weeks, you are not just going to survive the season. You are absolutely going to thrive during the season and make it as enjoyable as possible. So I am heading out to do a little bit of shopping and enjoy an unseasonably beautifully warm day here in the South. And I hope that these tips are helpful to you. Now, do me a favor. If you think they were helpful, hit share, hit like, comment. Let's hear what you have to say about it. I would love to hear also if you have some tips that you'd like to share with the Fierce Chick Tribe about how you not only survive but thrive during the holidays. I can't wait to hear from you, and we'll talk soon.